Poppleton in Winter by Cynthia Ryland and illustrated by Mark Teague. This one has 3 chapters. The Icicles, the Bust, and the Sleigh Ride. Icicles. Poppleton's house grew very long icicles in winter. Poppleton was very proud of them. He never knocked them down. He just let them get longer and longer. Gus, the mail carrier, said, "Poppleton, you should do something about those icicles." Hudson down the street said, "Poppleton, those icicles are not pretty." And when Poppleton's mother visited, she said that an icicle was surely going to bonk him on the head. But Poppleton didn't listen to any of them. He loved his icicles. Every morning he took a ruler outside to see how much they had grown. But one day a little finch wasn't watching where it was going. He ran right into one icicle. That fell into another icicle, which fell into the next one, which fell into the next one, which fell into the next one. Soon all of Poppleton's icicles were lying on the ground. Poppleton was sad. The little finch felt so bad. "I'm very sorry," he said. "Oh, that's all right," said Poppleton politely. "Maybe we could build something with them," said the finch. "Build something?" said Poppleton. "Sure," said the finch. "The icicles are still frozen. We could make them into something." Poppleton and the finch worked long all day, and by evening Poppleton had the most beautiful picket fence in town. "Would you like to stay for dinner?" Poppleton asked the finch, whose name was Patrick. "Certainly," said Patrick. Poppleton was glad his icicles were knocked down. Icicles always melt, but a new friend would stay. Chapter 2. The Bust. Winter always made Poppleton creative. One winter he built a pagoda out of ice cream sticks. Another winter he hooked a rug. And another winter he painted stars all over his floors. It was time to be creative again. What should I make this winter, he thought. He looked out his window and saw Cherry Sue in her house. "I know," said Poppleton. "I'll make a bust of Cherry Sue." Poppleton went to the art store and bought some clay. Then he started modeling Cherry Sue's head. I can't remember what Cherry Sue's hair looks like," said Poppleton. He walked over to Cherry Sue's house and knocked on the door. "Hello, Poppleton," said Cherry Sue. "Hello," said Poppleton. "Come in," said Cherry Sue. "No, thanks. I just wanted to say hello," said Poppleton, looking closely at her head. He went back home and started modeling. Said Poppleton. "I can't remember what Cherry Sue's eyes look like." He walked over to Cherry Sue's house and knocked on the door. "Yes," said Cherry Sue. Poppleton looked deeply into Cherry Sue's eyes. "Nice to see you. Goodbye," said Poppleton. He went back home and started molding. Said Poppleton. "I can't remember what Cherry Sue's nose looks like." He walked over to Cherry Sue's and knocked on the door. "You again," said Cherry Sue. Poppleton stared at her nose. She tweaked his nose. "Ouch!" said Poppleton. "You tweaked my nose." "You are driving me crazy," said Cherry Sue. "I'm only trying to make a bust of your head," said Poppleton. "Really?" said Cherry Sue. "I can't remember what you look like," said Poppleton, rubbing his nose. "I'll get my coat," said Cherry Sue. She followed Poppleton back to his house. She sat very still while he molded. It took 5 hours. But when the bust was done, it looked just like Cherry Sue. "I'm sorry I tweaked your nose," she told Poppleton, and she gave his nose a little kiss. The 3rd chapter, The Sleigh Ride. It was a very snowy day, and Poppleton felt like going for a sleigh ride. He called his friend Cherry Sue. "Would you like to go for a sleigh ride?" Poppleton asked. "Sorry, Poppleton, I'm making cookies," said Cherry Sue. Poppleton called his friend Hudson. Would you like to go with a sleigh ride with me? Poppleton asked. Sorry, said Hudson. I'm baking a cake. Poppleton called his friend Fillmore. Would you like to go for a sleigh ride with me? Poppleton asked. Sorry, said Fillmore. I'm stirring up the fudge. Poppleton was so disappointed he couldn't find one friend for a sleigh ride, and besides that, they were all making such good things to eat. He sat in front of the window, feeling very sorry for himself. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Surprise! All of Poppleton's friends were there, with cookies and cakes and fudge and presents. Happy birthday, Poppleton, they said. He had forgotten his own birthday. Everyone ate and laughed and played games with Poppleton. And then, right before midnight, they all took him on a sleigh ride. The moon was full and white, and the stars twinkled. The owls hooted in the trees, and over the snow went the sleigh filled with Poppleton and all of his friends. Poppleton didn't even make a birthday wish. He had everything he wanted.